I guess with that, we can just sort of jump into this NBA lottery thing. So
Yeah.
obviously, my Detroit Pistons fell once again to number 5, winning 16 games this year. They were the worst team in the league by basically every statistical measure.
Yep.
And the lottery said no more. They said no more Pistons. And this is a point I wanted to make just for the record, because everybody's watching the reaction video of me yelling obscenities towards the
Mm-hmm.
NBA
Yep.
and saying it's rigged and all this.
Yep.
And I need to explain things to people because they hear somebody say something and they just assume that whatever their argument is for it, it's just the weakest form of that argument. So I want to go down the list of things that I do not think to clear my name, as it were.
Yes.
So, number 1, no, I do not think that a 14% chance to win the lottery is a high chance, or that I should even expect to win on a 14% odds. I do not think that.
Okay.
Number 2, no, I do not think that just because you're the worst team, that means you should win the lottery. In fact, that has never happened, I don't think. Number 3, obviously, not every first overall pick is going to be super good. Number 4, there's many things.
Here we go.
Hold on. Number 4 was, yes, it involves development when you take a pick at any spot, so you have to pick well regardless of where you land.
Correct.
And I think finally, number 5, no, not every single lottery is just like totally rigged and they're choosing the results beforehand. However, when there are these generational talents, whether or not they actually turn out to be, I'm looking at Zion Williamson or, Greg Oden, whether or not they actually turn out to be these players that they're advertised as, the point is, I think the NBA, I think the owners, I think the media, whoever you want to say, there is an interest for them to put them in teams that have, number 1, a history of success and a marketability for the player to be able to be showcased on a national stage in a relatively easy manner. So that's why you see teams like the Charlotte Hornets or even the Portland Trailblazers or, yes, the Detroit Pistons not typically win these lotteries when these generational talents are on the board, right? Like, I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to. It was probably to you. Like, when basically randos on the internet can be like, oh, yeah, I think probably San Antonio or Houston is going to win. And then they're just right. Like, I'm sorry. I thought this was a 14% chance. Shouldn't most of us be wrong about our predictions? If it's only a 14% chance, then why does everybody just immediately figure out what the narrative answer would be to what the NBA would want most for the lottery? See, it's like we can't do this with like the games, right?
Correct.
Because the games are just being played. They can't force LeBron to make a basket every single time. So we can't say, oh, the NBA is rigging the championships. We can't do that. But what we can do is we can make some predictions based on, oh, well, San Antonio, they got Tim Duncan, they had David Robinson. This is a storied franchise. It's on a downward spiral. They need that up and comer. They got a legendary coach who's, nearing the end of his career. They want to end him out with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Let's give him Victor Wembanyama. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. I understand why they would do that, right? Like, what would the narrative be, I guess, if he went to the Pistons? Well, you got an up-and-coming team. Detroit is French-ish. Killian Hayes is French.
There's some, yeah.
It's like they're like they don't have a coach. We don't know anything. Like, it's not as like cohesive, right? It's not as like you can't have stories and articles and all these things. Like, it's just not going to work. And obviously, they only have so many teams that they could realistically do this for. Because, like, if he went to Dallas, everyone would be like, please. Of course they're doing this. They just want to give Luka something because they love Dallas. and they want to, push that franchise to be another championship contender. Like, the thing is, like, we shouldn't be thinking this way. I shouldn't be talking this way because this whole lottery thing in the NHL, it's stupid. They're doing it in Major League Baseball now. It's stupid there, and it's dumb in the NBA. Like, why? Why do we do this? The NFL doesn't do this. The NBA didn't do this for a long time. I don't know what the point of this is, especially when, for one, the Pistons we're not tanking. This is another thing I want to play. Pistons were not tanking last year. They sucked. They lost their number 1 overall pick 13 games into the year.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Right, Stephen A. This is very bad. So we lose our best player, who at the time was averaging 19 points a game. And we had no defense, so we were having to rely on any offense we could generate.
Correct.
And so
the Pistons just weren't good.
Like, we just weren't a good team. If they want to boost a team from being bad and not reward tanking, which, I mean, come on. Who seriously believes that Adam Silver is, knocking on the door of San Antonio? Excuse me, please don't tank for Victor Wembanyama. What is he going to do? What is he going to fine them $300,000 that they'll just make up in ticket sales the moment that
it happens?
Like, it's just like, I never understood the lottery. I especially don't understand the lottery when they're doing it behind closed doors, and then, like, after the fact, well, here's the video, guys. Look, this is us doing the lottery. It's like, this looks like a hostage video. Like, what? Not the broadcast. Why do we just get, I don't even know the name of the gentleman who reveals the Asian guy. I can't think of his name.
Why don't I know his name either? I should, but
I
don't.
I don't even have anything against these people. I mean, I think that they're like, Adam Silver's just a lawyer, right? He's just representing the owners. I have much more problems with the, like, brass of the NBA, which is the ownership, than I do with, like, because Lord knows Tom Gores is not, hey guys, maybe the Pistons should win the lot. They're just like, shut up, Tom. We don't care about you. Like, your team sucks. Anybody want to sign up for UWM?
No.
Nope, not gonna happen. So yeah, but the result is what it is. The Pistons are going to be picking 5th in this draft, and I think most, if not maybe 60-40 Pistons fans right now, probably thinking they want to trade that pick. And I kind of agree with them. What are you thinking right now? What is the trajectory that you think the Pistons should be taking with this pick?
I think probably a trade would be beneficial. I think because if you trade that pick away to somebody who, wants to get up there, you get a player which I don't know what, it's hard to say because, you have a package deal for the 5th pick.
Right. And they're going to be asking not for, James Wiseman. They're going to be asking for something of substance. Because
correct.
The thing is, Houston's already shopping the pick. Portland's shopping the pick. Why would we trade with Detroit when we can just get a better pick from these other teams?
Yes.
And so that puts us in a really tough spot.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough
we're almost forced to take the pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, theoretically, Troy Weaver, general manager, is supposed to be his wheelhouse, right? His first draft class was a total waste. I mean, 2 of the players still remain, and one of them is not going to get re-signed. At least for sure, one of them is not getting re-signed. I don't know where Isaiah Stewart is going to stand. Depends if he has a breakout year, then maybe you sign him to a small team.
Hey, everyone loves Big Stew, So.
Beef Stew.
Beef Stew.
You don't even know his name.
Big Stew.
How could you disrespect Isaiah Stewart?
I'm just scared of him. I think he might tear my head off like he almost did to LeBron,
I think that was peak Pistons fans moment.
That was
like, you know what it is? Because Pistons fans have this weird love for him. Like, every time I'm seeing posts, it's like, oh, we got this young core. We got Cade. Okay, I'm with you. We got Ivy. I'm with you. Duran. I'm with you. And Beef Stew. I'm like, Beef Stew.
Like, hold on a second.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? He's not a part of the core. Here? Like, what is do I need to pull up his stats? Let's do it. Let's pull up Isaiah Stewart's stats.
Why not?
This year. Solid 11, 8, and 1. That's 8 rebounds a game, 1 assist a game, 11 point. Not terrible. But like Isaiah Stewart's a dime a dozen. Like
you can find that
there's
somewhere
a
else.
lot of Isaiah Stewarts in this league, and
Correct.
especially because he's a center, right? Sometimes he technically can play power forward, but like he's a center, and we have Jalen Duren, who is taller, I think.
Yep. Yeah.
Stu is 6'8".
Okay, Jalen Duren's like 6'11", right?
Duren is 6'10", so Duren's got a couple of inches on him, and he's younger, and I think he even played better than. I mean, he didn't have as many points, like his counting stats were smaller, but he's got far more upside.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
definitely.
But I mean, if people are thinking about trading the pick, well, how willing are you to trade Jalen Duren? How willing are you to depart with a little Jaden Ivey?
See, and that's where you get into this tough area because I don't think if that is going to be the package deal, that's going to be a big gamble because I think both
and then the
Ivy
other thing is,
and
who are you
Duren,
trading with? Who are you getting? Because you're not going to get Jaylen Brown, probably not for the 5th pick. They would much rather take, Houston's offer or Portland's offer, and
see that's a tough.
He's out of the realm. And then free agency, we got Dylan Brooks.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's gonna be a Piston. I forgot about that. But it's just so it's like this tough. It's this tough area because I don't think.
And you can't go out and be a bottom third team for the 5th straight year.
No, you need to at least be in the realm of.
You need to be winning like 30 games. Like I get into arguments. It's like, guys, 30 games out of what do they play?
82.
82 games. You're not winning. You're like a terrible team. You're like the Pacers. I don't think that's that big of a stretch.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, the thing is, this year was a bit of a wash to begin with. We didn't have Cade.
Yes.
Ivy was basically developing by himself.
But that
for better or for worse, but he played fine. He was, all rookie second team. Say with Jalen Duren.
Yep.
They had something there, and I don't know what's the deal with Bogdanovich. Weaver kind of
he's old.
I mean, we're not keeping him.
Yeah,
he signed, I think, for a couple more years, but we're probably thinking of trading him as soon as the offseason begins, if not sometime in the middle of the season. I mean, you might be able to. He's probably something you could add in a trade package for a team that wants to,
like a veteran or something.
Yeah, I mean,
but then you don't.
But then he loses shooting, right? Like he was one of our better offensive players, for better or for worse. And maybe you think Cade and Ivy are just going to make up for that. Okay, well, that's a decent gamble. I'm willing to bet on it.
Sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it just blew up in our face.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys trade away the pick and then somebody who's young and has a high upside, and then that blows up in your face. I'm telling you, it's the Piston way. It's the Detroit sports. It's the curse. You guys have it. I don't know why, but trust me.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
You add on to this whole thing with the Kevin Ollie for some reason. I don't get it. I don't know anything. I don't know that much about Kevin Ollie. I know that he's in the G League. He's blacklisted in the NCAA. He won one national championship with UConn a decade ago.
Correct.
Like, I don't know what Troy Weaver is thinking. And the problem is, from what I've been seeing from James Edwards, who's a Pistons beat writer, he's saying, like, there's been internal turmoil about this head coaching thing. And it's like, wait a minute. Is Tom Gores, the owner, trying to stop Troy Weaver from hiring Kevin Ollie? Because Tom Gores does not know anything about basketball. He probably doesn't even know where the Pistons play.
Probably not.
And if he's telling you, hey, I don't like this guy, either he's an idiot and Kevin Ollie is actually really good, or our GM is an idiot and Tom Gores, being an idiot himself, is somehow smarter than the other idiot.
Than the idiot GM. It's two idiots.
I don't. Yeah. And that's the problem, right? Like this was the problem with the Tigers under Al Avila. Is like you had two dimwits running the team. They had no idea. None of them knew anything about the modern game. At least Al Avila, he had some resume of being a scout and having history in baseball. But like this is the same deal. Like Troy Weaver, he was one of the big reasons for OKC getting Russell Westbrook. Yeah. And he has a draft history. He built much of that OKC team. He drafted, or at least was in large part a part of the draft for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's one of the up-and-coming stars for the Thunder. And look, if he wants to go this route of just draft your way out, you're in for a tough time in the NBA because, as we've talked about before, you need a star. And, maybe Cade will be a star. Maybe Ivy will be a star.
But that's the thing, though. It's
the odds of all of these guys hitting and you being like the Warriors or the Thunder is very low. Like Kevin Durant was drafted when they were the Supersonics. Like they were not good for a long time. Like
until they got Westbrook.
Until they got Westbrook. Until they got Harden.
Until
they
got
mixed it up with KD and all that. Like it takes a lot of time for that to work. And the problem is, I don't know how patient we are going to be, given that we just got screwed out of the lottery. We'll probably be in the lottery conversation again next year, even with a fully healthy team. Like even best case scenario, we win like 30 games. That'd be great. We'd at least have something to go off of. Maybe Cade, averages like 22 or something insane. Like he just goes off and he's like an all-star. I don't know.
Sure.
Just like something really good for us.
Yes.
And if that happens, maybe you got something. Maybe we do what Philly did. We trust the process, right? We draft and stash. We get these guys. And then we go out and we spend on some free agent. We go out and say F them picks with whatever picks we have left.
Well,
that's the other thing. We don't exactly have a war chest.
Yeah.
We traded a bunch of picks to it was like when we were giving away guys, we might have given away too much. I think like the Knicks have our first round pick either next year or the year after or something like that.
Okay.
The NBA is weird. I don't understand any of these trades. Like it's
I don't either.
We'll give you the 2037 first round. It's like, oh, okay. Like what worth is that to me? Like
at this point in time, yeah. What
I don't know I don't know what the solution is to that. Like, do you make it like you can only trade like next year's or like a certain amount because
maybe
I think the NFL has like a limit, right? You can't just be like, I'll give you the 2028 first round pick. It's like, no,
you're like
that's not fair at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But look, the Pistons, as far as what we do in this taking fifth, I mean, we're looking at guys like the Thompson brothers and was it Whitmore? Cam Whitmore, I think, is a guy out of like Villanova. It's like, yeah, maybe these guys will be good. Maybe. But they're gonna be like 19-20. And typically when you're 19-20 playing against 25-plus-year-olds, especially in the Eastern Conference, like we're in the same division as the Bucks. I don't think these 20-year-olds are going to enjoy Giannis just like
running at them,
breaking into their home, like
correct,
and just eating them. Like
probably
not. And it's not going to be good for their development. It's not going to be good for anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, we talked about potential moves for the Pistons. We talked about free agents. Obviously, Dylan Brooks is apparently on the table.
Yeah. Well.
And I just don't know. I don't know what to do with this team, and it sucks. It just sucks. It's like
it's a part of the waiting game. It's the Detroit way.
We just gotta wait.